They call him the Alien, and honestly, that might be the most accurate nickname the NBA has ever given a player. Because when you watch Victor Wembanyama play, you don't feel like you're watching a traditional superstar. You feel like you're watching something that doesn't belong here. 7'4", moving like a wing, blocking shots without jumping, shooting threes like a guard, handling the ball in transition, and doing it with a calmness that feels unnatural. The first time you see it, you think it's hype. The second time, you think it's a good matchup. By the 10th time, you realize something uncomfortable. There's no normal defensive answer. That's why the alien works. Because defenders look confused, coaches look frustrated, and even veterans look like they're guessing. Let's slow this down. Most dominant big men win with force. Shaq overwhelmed you. Tim Duncan dissected you. Giannis runs through you. But Wembanyama doesn't overpower the game. He stretches it, he bends it, he forces you to defend space you're not used to defending. And that changes everything. When he catches the ball at the top of the key, a 7-footer has to step out. Now the paint is open. When a smaller defender switches on to him, he doesn't need a move. He just raises the ball above his head. That's not skill dominance, that's dimensional dominance. There's a difference. And the league isn't built for that. You can scheme against speed, you can scheme against strength, but how do you scheme against a release point that feels unreachable? How do you contest a jumper when it starts above your maximum extension? And before I keep going, real quick, if you're watching this and you've been rocking with the channel, I genuinely appreciate you. We're still building, still growing, still proving ourselves. And the fact that even a small group of you show up consistently, that means more than you think. If you enjoy this kind of breakdown, no hype, no nonsense, just real analysis, hit subscribe. We're active here, and I'd love to keep reaching more people who actually love the game. Now, back to the alien. Here's the scary part. This isn't a finished product. This is year one foundation. He's still learning angles, still adjusting to NBA physicality, still building muscle, still understanding pacing. Now imagine this version of Wembanyama with 3 more off seasons, stronger base, cleaner footwork, more efficient shot selection, faster decision making. That's when this stops being exciting and starts being unfair. Right now, teams are testing him, throwing double teams, trying to bump him off his spots, trying to make him uncomfortable. But he doesn't panic. That's rare for a young player. There's no rush in his movements, no visible frustration, no emotional overreaction. He experiments, he reads, he adapts. That tells you something. The great ones don't just react to the league, they study it, and then they solve it. The reason this feels different from other prospects is simple. Most young stars have one elite trait: speed, explosiveness, scoring, defense. Wembanyama has scale. Scale changes matchups before the ball is even tipped. And defensively, it might be even more disruptive. He doesn't just block shots, he erases confidence. Guards hesitate driving, bigs rethink post moves, pull-up shooters adjust arcs, because when someone can contest from 2 steps away, your margin for error disappears. That psychological effect matters. Basketball is rhythm, confidence, timing. He interrupts all 3. Now let's address the real concern: durability. Every time a player with extreme height enters the league, people ask the same question. Can his body hold up? It's fair. History has examples, but this era is different. The game is spaced. Less back to the basket wrestling, more perimeter skill. He doesn't have to absorb punishment every possession to dominate. He can influence the game from distance. And that versatility protects him. If managed correctly, that could be the difference between potential and legacy. Because the upside here isn't just all-star. It's era-defining. Magic changed size at point guard. Steph changed shooting range expectations. Wembanyama could change positional definitions entirely. 7-foot prospects growing up now won't be told to stay near the rim. They'll be trained to handle, to shoot, to move laterally. Front offices will prioritize length with skill over traditional archetypes. That ripple effect doesn't happen often, but when it does, you remember where it started. And this feels like the beginning of something, not hype, not social media excitement, trajectory. The scary thing isn't what he's doing now, it's how comfortable he looks doing it. There's no forcing, no frantic energy, just controlled experimentation, like he's testing limits, seeing what works, seeing what defenses try, and storing it. The alien isn't dominating yet, he's observing. And once observation turns into control, the conversation changes. Because at that point, it won't be about potential anymore. It'll be about inevitability. And that's when the league has a problem. Because if a player becomes unsolvable within standard defensive principles, you don't stop him. You adjust the system around him. That's how eras shift. And 5 years from now, we might look back and realize something. This was the least polished version of him we'll ever see, the least efficient, the least strong, the least experienced. And if this is the floor, the ceiling might not look human. Maybe that's why the nickname stuck. Not because it sounds cool, but because when you watch him long enough, you start to feel it. He doesn't play like he's ahead of his class. He plays like he's ahead of the structure, and the NBA hasn't fully processed that yet, but it will. And when it does, the alien won't feel like a nickname anymore. It'll feel like a warning.